عابد مزتر علی اکبر علی اصغر اور گلے میں توق بیڑی پاؤں میں ہاتھوں میں ہتھ کڑیاں چلا جاتا ہے میرے کارواں پہنے ہوئے لنگر علی اکبر علی اصغر علی اکبر علی اصغر اور کہاں پر سو رہے ہو غیرت آل نہ بنی ہاشم کہاں پر سو رہے ہو غیرت آل بنی ہاشم سر بازار کوفہ ہوں میرے سر پر نہیں چادر علی اکبر علی اصغر علی اکبر علی اصغر اور پھوپھی اماں چھپائے چہرے اقدس کو بالوں سے کھلے سر جا رہی ہے شام کے دربار میں دلبر علی اکبر علی اصغر علی اکبر علی اصغر
Requesting Maulana Kazim and Maroofi sahab to please come and recite the Majlis. Par Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad salawat.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبشر الصابرين إذا أصابتهم مصيبة قالوا إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. The night of Ashura was incredibly difficult for the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam because it was the final time that they were going to be all together. And by the time of Zuhr, they will all be separated forever. On the night of Ashura, Umar Sa'd, La'natullah alayh, he came out and he made that slogan, Ya Khil Allah, Irkabi wa bil jannati ibshiri. O the army of Allah, go and fight, Hussein, for Jannah awaits you. When Lady Zainab Salamullah alayha heard the galloping sounds of the horses, she became very worried. She came to Imam Hussein alayhi salam asking, Brother, tell me what are their intentions? Imam Hussein alayhi salam called Hazrat Abbas. Abbas, binafsi anta. Abbas, my life be sacrificed for you. Go and tell these wretched souls that I want to have a reprieve for one night. I want to have a respite for one night. I want to spend this last night remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to recite His book, to do supplication and to seek forgiveness. He had so much faith in Abul Fazl al-Abbas that if Abbas goes and asks for reprieve, they will definitely give him. Nafi ibn Hilal, he says, I saw Imam Hussein alayhi salam in the midst of the night come out of his tent, and then he began to wonder So I began to follow him because I wanted to protect him. Imam Hussain alayhi salam, he sensed that somebody is following me. So he said, Nafi, is that you? He said, yes, Maula, it's me. He said, why is it that you follow me? He said, Maula, because you're all alone and I don't want the enemy to attack you. I want to safeguard you. He said, Maula, tell me, why are you wandering all alone in the midst of the night? So he said, Nafi, I want to study the battlefield. I want to get a closer look so that I can strategize. And as Imam Hussain alayhi salam was talking, Nafi's attention was somewhere else. Imam said to Nafi, Nafi, what is the matter with you? Your Imam is speaking to you, you're not paying any attention. Nafi said, Maula, I don't know why, but I can hear a crying sound. It's as if there is a lady who is broken-hearted, who is completely distraught, and she is crying for her son. Imam said, yes, Nafi, that is my mother. That is the greatest lady in the world. Ever since I have left Medina, she has come after me. Ajrukum alallah, ajrukum alallah. Nafi says that I saw that Imam went to the tent of Lady Zainab Salamullah alayha. And then they began to have a conversation together. Lady Zainab asked Imam, have you tested your companions? Are you sure they're not going to betray you in the battlefield today? Imam assured her. He said, no, I have tested. My companions are the most loyal companions of all the companions to ever exist. Nafi says, I felt that Lady Zainab was not convinced. So I went and told Habib, Habib, it seems that Lady Zainab is not convinced with regards to our loyalty. Habib said, I swear to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if it wasn't for the order of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, I would have attacked the enemy right now. Then he took all his companions and he says, let's prove our loyalty to her. They all went right in front of the tent of Lady Zainab in unison. They put their swords around their neck and they said, Princess Zainab, come out. If you order us right now, we will slit our throats for you. Lady Zainab, all the women came out, they began to cry, no, we believe you that you will protect our sanctity, that you will safeguard us. This was the night that Imam also remembered the Imam, the last authority of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said to all his companions, glad tidings to you, for paradise awaits you. But one day we will be resurrected. We will come out of our graves, and the last authority of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will avenge our bloods. And we will witness him punish those who have killed many, many innocent lives. They asked, who is this Qaim Ali Muhammad? Imam pointed towards Imam Baqir alayhi salam, and he said it will be from his lineage, the seventh son from his lineage. He will fill the earth with justice just as it would have been filled with injustice. Our fourth Imam says that Imam Hussain alayhi salam came into the tent and then he said the following. He said that the world has been designed in a manner that every evening and every morning souls will depart, and every soul has to depart this world. Imam Zainul Abidin says that I understood what my father was hinting towards. He was hinting towards that a great tragedy is coming and we will have to endure it. I was able to withstand, and I was not showing my expression. But Lady Zainab, my aunt, whose heart was softer than mine, she could not bear this. And immediately she went to Imam Hussain alayhi salam and she said, Ya layta a'damani li haya. I wish that now I was not alive to hear this, brother.
Why does tonight feel that our mother has gone and left us? Why does tonight feel as if our father has gone and left us? Why does tonight feel the pain of tonight is when Imam Hassan alayhi salam left this world and you are the successor of Hussein? Have you already readied yourself to leave me all alone? Imam Hussein alayhi salam told her to be patient. He said, if a bird is left alone, it would just go into its nest, but it's not. I have not been left alone. Imam told Lady Zainab to be patient. Be patient. Promise me, sister, that once I am gone, you will not beat your face with your hands. You will not tear your clothes. Promise me. She promised. Lady Zainab then went to the tent of Hazrat Abul Fazl al-Abbas, and she heard that Hazrat Abul Fazl al-Abbas, he is sitting, and around him are the youths of Bani Hashim, and he's telling them that tomorrow is the day of the battlefield. Make sure that we go into the battlefield first, way before the companions, so they don't say that we wanted to save our lives. Then Lady Zainab went to the tent of the companion. Habib ibn Mawahir was telling his companions, make sure that you are the first one into the battlefield, so that on the day of judgment, we don't have to be ashamed and embarrassed and say that the Bani Hashim had gone before us. Tonight, as you know, in the morning of Ashura is associated with the azan of Hazrat Ali Akbar. Let me tell you something so that you understand why Imam Hussein alayhi salam elected Hazrat Ali Akbar. With what hope? He had, as you know, he had a regular azan reciter. His name was Hajjaj ibn Masruq. Everywhere the caravan went, Imam would ask Hajjaj, recite. But in the morning of Ashura, he made an exception. Instead of asking Hajjaj, he asked Ali Akbar to recite. Ali Akbar, as you know, he was the most resemblant to the Prophet ﷺ. Ali Akbar also was somebody who lived in the middle of Medina. In Medina, Imam Hussein alayhi salam had his own house in the center of the city. But Ali Akbar also had a family, because Ali Akbar means the eldest of all the siblings. If Imam Sajjad was 22 years of age, Ali Akbar, it is said, he was 25 to 28 years of age. He had his own family. Ali Akbar, instead of living in the center of the city, his belief was, no, I want to have a house on the outskirts of the city, on the boundary of the city, because he really, really catered for common people. He wanted that if anybody would enter the city, it would be his house would be the first house that they would come and visit. And if anybody was to leave the city, it would be his house that would be the last house that people would visit. And he was very, very hospitable. It is said that where Ali Akbar's house was, there was always a fire from the roof of his house, which would indicate to the people, anyone who would be traveling to the city of Medina, that if you are lost, if you are stranded, if you need a place to live, if you are hungry, this house is available. And whenever somebody would come to the city of Medina, Hazrat Ali Akbar would be the first person to go and welcome them and receive them. And he would do so by being barefoot. Every single guest he would receive barefoot. And any guest anyone who was leaving the city, he will also receive them barefoot. He was incredibly etiquette because he was Shabih Paigambar. Even those who used to come from Sham and they had hatred for Imam Ali alayhi salam, and they would come with that hostility in their hearts, But when they would go to the house of Ali Akbar and they would see his hospitality, they would come out and they would ask the people whose house this was. And then they will say, هذا بيت Hussein ibn Ali. That this is the house of the son of Ali, the son of Hussein, the grandson of Ali ibn Abi Talib. They would be ashamed. They would realize that we were brainwashed by Muawiyah, that Ali's grandson, look how hospitable he is. And as a result of that, when they would go into the center of the city and they would meet Imam Hussein alayhi salam, they would apologize that we were brainwashed. We didn't know that you were so hospitable. We thought ill of your father. Can you imagine how proud Imam Hussein alayhi salam would have felt? That Ali Akbar is the reason why the hatred that people have in their hearts for Ali, he is the one who eliminates it. Imam Hussein Hazrat Ali Akbar alayhi salam was 7 years of age when Imam Ali alayhi salam had left this world. And it is said in riwayat that Imam Ali alayhi salam on a daily basis would come to visit Ali Akbar and embrace him and smell him and he'd kiss him. So Ali Akbar had intense love for Imam Ali alayhi salam. So when people would come and they would be abusive to Imam Ali, it was very, very difficult. But because he was Shabih Payghambar, his etiquettes was so immaculate that people would be drawn towards Ali Akbar. This is perhaps maybe one of the reasons why Imam Hussein alayhi salam asked Ali Akbar for the last time that perhaps the hostility that these people have towards me, Ali Akbar has that magic. He can change, he can win the hearts. For he resembles the Prophet in every aspect, in his appearance, in his etiquette, in his voice and his speech. But it also proved that these people who actually fought Imam Hussein alayhi salam were enemies of the Prophet, because Imam Hussein alayhi salam sent his greatest hujjah, the greatest proof, which was Ali Akbar, to recite the azan. When the caravan of the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam reached Kufa, there were many ladies who were watching this caravan from the rooftop. And then their eyes fell on this little girl, Sakina. And they looked at her lips, it was split. And they said to one another, this girl looks very, very thirsty, looks very, very thirsty. One of the ladies came down and she came to Lady Zainab and she said, your daughter seems very thirsty. Sakina said, Auntie Zainab, shall I tell them really how thirsty I am? They said, no, it's very, very apparent that you are very, very thirsty. Let me get some water for you. She rushes to get some water. And she says to Lady Zainab that I have certain condition. Tell this little girl to make 2 prayers for me. One of the prayers is this: tell her that none of my family members ever become orphan like her. And the second one, that I really wish to go to Medina to meet my Imam Hussein. Lady Zainab said, why would you want to go to Medina? She replied, it is because of the fact my princess Zainab lives there. Hazrat Zainab asked, tell me, if you would see her, would you recognize her? She became angry. What is the matter with you? Of course I will recognize my princess. Lady Zainab lifted her head. She goes, well, look at me right now. You didn't recognize me. I am your princess Zainab. Look over there, that head. That is your master Hussein. When they saw this, the ladies, they became shocked. They came down and they began to see all the heads. They began to examine, and they said they saw the prostration marks on their head. They saw that these faces were illuminating with light. They said, we were told that you guys were rebels. We were told that you guys were rebels. There was one lady, her eyes fell on the head of Ali Akbar. When she saw the head of Ali Akbar, she said, I wish and I pray when this young man died, his mother was not alive to see it. Layla came out. No, that is not the case. I am that unfortunate mother. Ever since I have left Karbala, I see my son and my master. لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين يعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون.
جب شے سے سب عزیز و برادر بچھڑ گئے، جب شے سے سب عزیز و برادر بچھڑ گئے، خواہر کے لال بھائی کے دل بر بچھڑ گئے، اور ابا سے ابن ساقی کوثر بچھڑ گئے، اور ماں لٹ گئی شبیہ پیمبر بچھڑ گئے، اور دیکھی ضعیفی باپ نے لخت جگر کی لاش، دیکھی ضعیف باپ نے لخت جگر کی لاش، ٹوٹی ہوئی کمر پا اٹھائی پسر کی لاش، اور اکبر کے بعد اور بھی محشر بپا ہوا، اور صابر سے 6 مہینے کا بچہ جدا ہوا، اور غنچوں پہ کب یہ ظلم جہاں میں روا ہوا، نازک گلا نشان تیر جفا ہوا، اور مٹی نہ دی کبھی کسی بیٹے کو باپ نے، گاڑا زمین میں اپنے کلیجے کو آپ نے، اٹھے جو بے زباں کی لہد سے بچشم نم، یہ فکر تھی رباب سے اب کیا کہیں گے ہم، اور مانگے گی اپنے لال کو جب وہ بدرد و غم، کیا منہ دکھائے گا اسے یہ کشتہ ستم، اور حائل یہ کشمکش تھی جو خیمے کی راہ میں، گردن جھکا کے بیٹھ گئے قتل گاہ میں، گردن جھکا کے بیٹھ گئے قتل گاہ میں، اور وہ فکر و یاس اور وہ تنہائی کا علم، اور بیٹے کا غم بھتیجے کا غم بھائی کا علم، اور اکبر کی نامرادیوں رعنائی کا علم، اور کہتے تھے ہائے فاطمہ کی جائی کا علم، اور سہلست گر روے سر مل بر سر سنین، زینب اگر اسیر شود وائے بر حسین، اور برسا رہے تھے تیر جو مولا پہ اشقیا، محو ادائے شکر تھے سلطان کربلا، حل من مبارزے کی جو فوجوں نے دی صدا، رخصت کو خیمہ گاہ میں آئے شہ خدا، اور فرمایا الوداع کے آفت میں پڑ گئے، لو بیبیوں صغیر بھی ہم سے بچھڑ گئے، اور حضرت بہن سے مل کے پکارے یہ بار بار، لو ہم چلے ہماری سکینہ سے ہوشیار، اور اب گھر میں پھر نہ آئے گا پھر کر یہ بے دیار، سونپا خدا کو اے میری اماں کی یادگار، اور دل پر ہر ایک مرحلے میں صبر کیجیو، ہر غرب میں فاطمہ کی طرح صبر کیجیو، اور دل پر ہر ایک مرحلے میں جبر کیجیو، ہر غم میں فاطمہ کی طرح صبر کیجیو، ہائے رباب مضطر و ناچار الفراق، اصغر کی ماں حسین کی غمخوار الفراق، اے بانوے غریب و دل افگار الفراق، اے نوجوان پسر کی عزادار الفراق، ارے واہ حسرتا کہ تم پہ یہ صدمہ گزر گیا، بچی وہاں مریض یہاں شیر مر گیا، یہ کہہ کے آپ تن پہ جو سج کر کفن چلے، غل پڑ گیا کہ خلق سے اب پنجے تن چلے، اور زینب پکاری ہائے شہ بے وطن چلے، بھیا تمہارے ساتھ یہ بے کس بہن چلے، اور فرمایا تم ہمارے یتیموں کو پالیو، ہم شیر اس لٹے ہوئے گھر کو سنبھالیو، اور نکلے یہ کہہ کے خیمے سے باہر شہ خدا، حاضر تھا آستانے پا رہوار بے با وفا، اور کوئی رکاب تھامنے والا جو اب نہ تھا، ایک آہ بھر کے رہ گئے مظلوم کربلا، رویا فرس امام حجازی کو دیکھ کر، سر رکھ دیا قدم پہ نمازی کو دیکھ کر، اور مقتل کو مڑ کے شاہ پکارے یہ بار بار، اکبر رکھا تھامنے آؤ بدر نثار، کیا سو رہے ہو چین سے اے میرے گل عذار، بے کس کا کوئی دوست نہ یا ورنہ غم گسار، ارے عباس جلد آؤ برادر نثار ہو، تم ہاتھ تھام لو تو مسافر سوار ہو، اے یارو کہاں ہو آؤ ہماری مدد کو آؤ، کس جا ہو اے حبیب مظلوم کو رلاؤ، اور جانے حسن چچا کی ضعیفی پر رحم کھاؤ، اور زینب کے لاڈ لو ہمیں راہوار پر بٹھاؤ، اور یہ سن کے خیمہ گاہ میں دل کو نکل پڑی، بالوں تڑپ کے رہ گئی زینب نکل پڑی، بالوں تڑپ کے رہ گئی زینب نکل پڑی، اور واہ حسرتا فلک نے قیامت یہ ڈھائی ہے، تنہا ہجوم غم میں شہ کربلائی ہے، اور بیٹا نہ بھانجے نہ بھتیجا نہ بھائی ہے، اور زینب رکاب تھامنے مقتل سے آئی ہے، اور بھائی کی شان دیکھ کے خواہر نے رو دیا، اور خواہر کی بے کسی پر برادر نے رو دیا۔
یا حسین 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 یا حسین،
ماں مدد کرو کیسے نکالوں سینے اکبر سے میں سنا اماں مدد کرو کیسے نکالوں سینہ اکبر سے میں سنا مدد کرو برداشت کس طرح سے کر پائے گا حسین بیٹے کے ساتھ دشت میں مر جائے گا حسین کڑی الجوار رگڑتا ہے مقتل میڑیاں مدد کرو کیسے نکالوں سینہ اکبر سے میں سنا مدد کرو افسوس آ نہ پایا ہے اس کو تار نے زی سے گرا دیا اسے نیزے کے وار نے ٹوٹی ہے آپ کی طرح اکبر کی پسلیاں اماں مدد کرو کیسے نکالوں سینہ اکبر سے میں سنا مدد کرو اکبر کے ساتھ ساتھ میرا دل بھی چھد گیا اٹھتا نہیں ہے ہاتھ تمہارے غریب کا پہلے میرے کلیجے سے تم کھینچ لو سنا مدد کرو کیسے نکالوں سینہ اکبر سے میں سنا مدد کرو پالا ہے جس نے نازوں سے ہے انتظار میں چادر نہ بھول جائے وہ اکبر کے پیار میں زینب کو روک لو کہیں آ جائے نا یہاں مدد کرو
صلی علی محمد و آل محمد برادر ابراہیم پلیز کم ان کی وزان جزاک اللہ
سبحان اللہ والحمد للہ ولا الہ الا اللہ واللہ اکبر ولا حول ولا قوة الا باللہ العلی العظیم اللہ اکبر اللہ اکبر اللہ اکبر اللہ اکبر اشہد ان لا الہ الا اللہ اشہد ان لا الہ الا اللہ أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن أمير المؤمنين عليا ولي الله أشهد أن أمير المؤمنين عليا حجة الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح حي على خير العمل حي على خير العمل الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله اللهم اغفر المؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات بحرمة سورة الفاتحة مع الصلوات
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن عليا ولي أشهد أن عليا حجة الله.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح حي على خير العمل حي على خير العمل قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر. ليلة القدر خير من 1000 شهر. تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر. الله أكبر.
سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر.
سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
الله أكبر. أستغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه. الله أكبر.
سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
الله أكبر. بحول الله وقوته أقوم وأقعد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. كذلك الله ربي. الله أكبر. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. اللهم صل على محمد وآله الأطهار. اللهم لعن قتلة الحسين وأصحابه. الله أكبر.
سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر.
سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
الله أكبر. أستغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه. الله أكبر.
سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. يا ولي العافية نسألك العافية عافية الدنيا والآخرة بحق محمد وآله الطاهرة.
الله أكبر. الحمد لله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر.
الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد. Muhammad. Allahumma MOMIN, the next program, inshallah, is at 1 p.m. Amale-e-Ashura, and then followed by the khutbah for Jummah, and then Salat-e-Maghribain, and then inshallah the main Ashura Majlis, followed by Matam. We also have, please do not forget to attend the Julus at downtown JFK Memorial. We start sharp at 10 a.m. and inshallah we'll end at 12 p.m. And then you can make it for our sisters. We have 11:45 ladies Majlis at the MOMIN Center main hall. Sisters are kindly requested to please attend that. And inshallah the evening program starts at 7 p.m. with the English Majlis, then Salat-e-Maghribain, and then inshallah Sham-e Ghariba Majlis in Urdu, ending with Salam-e-Akhir.